Thanks for sticking with us here on the live stream from Giltrap Group Raceway in the Pool and Spa Maintenance City of Sales for 2021. It is time for some finals racing here at the ClubSport Auckland event. And we kick it off with our 25-lapper from the ClubSport class. Super Metal Recycling ClubSport. And aside from one of the 4 outings so far, it's been all number 51, Stephen Muggeridge. He has been the winner of everything so far. They line themselves up in formation. We make sure race control is happy. They are. The lights go off, and we are racing in ClubSport. And Muggeridge once again takes the lead. One of the rest of them goes, oh, he's not happy. Who ended up on the grass? 32. A little bit upset, waving his arms around, was Matt Couch. There's no point waving at me. I just talk about it. I can't do anything for you, son. But it was a nice ride up on the grass. Nothing like a good run on the roller coaster. In last place, and he's got to hope that there's some drama up front to catch up into this racing again. But 25 lap up, Muggeridge leads the way ahead of Hutchinson, McDowell, French, Brennan, Gilbert, and Bennett. No changes, and I don't expect any for a few laps yet. Hutchinson will give it a crack later on. I think he'll just line up Muggeridge for a few more laps like he did last time. He's going to prove me wrong, and he's going to try the inside line straight away. No, backs off again. It's really been the way he's done the whole weekend so far. He gets right beside number 51 and then backs off. Just decides he doesn't quite have the speed or the line to stick with it under brakes and force Muggeridge onto the wide line. But here we go again. Hutchinson in second. Let's see if he's going to have another go at it. He is certainly faster on his exit speed. He is quicker through the sweepers. He goes down the inside. This time he doesn't. He goes for the toe. Around the hairpin. A little bit faster around there. Goes and looks down the inside and then backs off. We'll probably see this about 20 times across this race before he finally decides, I'm going to have a lunge. Right in behind Muggeridge. No changes in 3rd, 4th, and 5th, which is Brennan, McDowell, and Bennett. Well, Brennan did get ahead of McDowell. Here he goes again. Hutchinson down the inside and back and behind. Thinks about it once again. Certainly a different apex line and gets a lot more speed through the turns. But he can't get the speed at the end where it counts. The end of the straight on that hairpin. Here he is again, Hutchinson. Check it out. Right in close. He's right on the bumper again. And this time he sticks with the toe. He's got to stay there. Different, unique approach to doing the infield turn that time. He sort of went sideways around there, did Hutchinson. But oh, wow, he was quicker than Muggeridge. Muggeridge got that all wrong coming out of there. That cost him dearly for lap pace. And I think Hutchinson had to brake, and it's cost him as well. So a bit of tactics going on here. Here they come now into the hairpin, and it's a way bigger gap than it was before. So Hutchinson has to start again from scratch because he has lost a huge amount of time there. It is still Brennan in 3rd with McDowell, Bennett, Gilbert, French, and Couch following in behind. Couch has got a lot of work to do to even think about getting involved in the race here. Hutchinson up front with Muggeridge. And this time, he ducks down the inside, and is he willing to hold on to it? No. Again, He just loses momentum at the 3/4 point of the straight. Has to back off. Once again, he gets the better speed coming out of the turn. If there were rear vision or side mirrors on the Muggeridge cart and he was looking left and right all the time, he'd be in for quite a surprise at how many times Hutchinson goes left and right. He'd be able to play some mind games with cart number 17. So 9 laps down. Time for a bit of aggression, and does he do it this time? No, the door is shut once more. Maybe it's time for the elbows to come out. They've grown a 2-second gap between themselves and third spot, Carl Brennan. But it's time for Hutchinson to get a bit of muscle on here and push and barge his way. I'm glad he's not listening to me because it's probably the wrong advice, but Couch still last at this stage after getting knocked off the track on the opening lap. Up onto the grass on the exit of turn number 1. Brennan, McDowell, Bennett, Gilbert and French are the order. But Hutchinson's the one who's trying to make a move on Muggeridge. He just needs that one more cart length and speed, and he thinks again of going down the inside, but I'm sure he's backing off. Maybe there's a fix on here. Maybe they're TAB betting against each other, that they'll finish first and second in that order. And there's a lot of money on it. Hutchinson thinks about a little tap on the back of the cart, pushes Muggeridge a little harder. You've got to do more than that, Paul. Number 17 still slotted into second spot. Now he might have got a better run. He's got to stay there. He can't break now. He's just got to hold it and force Muggeridge to go late, and he does. He gets the pass made down the inside on the infield, and now he can concentrate on running away with the race, but he's done this before, and then he lost the spot back. So Hutchinson now leading, can concentrate on speed, on braking lines. Forget about trying to pass. Can he keep his speed that he had out of the turn? Yes, he does. If he changes his driving style now, he will be passed by Muggeridge. He's got to go back to what he was doing when he was chasing. He was quicker as a chaser. He pulls a couple of cart lengths away. This is the 120cc Kart Sports, brought to you by Super Metal Recycling. He is choosing a different line going into the hairpin because he's worried about Muggeridge jumping down the inside. I think he's got to forget about that. Get that out of his head. Scrubbed off a lot of speed going sideways in there. The tyres now might be playing a part with not only the ClubSport, but it will be through the rest of the field as well. Every category. They come into the afternoon racing finals, and Hutchinson still leads just ahead of Muggeridge. Still decides to go down the centre line, not giving the opposition a chance to get around. It'll work. It's not the fastest way for him to get around the circuit, but at the moment it is holding, and there's going to be a good race coming back in 4, 5 and 6. They're just about to hit the infield, and finally they're all over top of each other, which is good to see in the club sports because you do have to pick your moments. 1, 2, they're having their own battle. 3 is out on his own, Carl Brennan, but 4, 5 and 6, they're deciding who is going to take the glory spots in that. This is their final for the weekend. Hutchinson is out there, but there is a good race, and a pass has just happened on the infield for those positions 4, 5, and 6. They're having fun, and it's spread them out fast. But up front, Hutchinson still holding on to the lead. I don't think he has to do anything dramatic, but he certainly has changed his driving style to more of a defensive pose. He's just not giving Muggeridge any chance. He's actually slower now, Hutchinson, on his lap times. Let's see if he improves them now with only 4 laps remaining. Time to keep the foot on the throttle. Keep the pace up. He does pull a good gap as they go past the dummy grid area. Into the sweepers. That's a better gap from Hutchinson. I think he's decided it's time to put the pace down. A few laps remaining. A 34.6. That is his fastest lap. But they are 4 seconds ahead of the chasers. So now he can focus on his speed. Muggeridge is closed right in again. So is he going to give it a last gasp effort in the last 2 laps of the race? Not from that distance. He's got to look for a mistake now. Hutchinson still leading. 2 laps to go. 18 down. Oh, sorry, we're on 25, not 20, aren't we? Because we're in the main final. So let's give it 6 more laps to go. So plenty of more time for Muggeridge then. I was well ahead of myself there. And Muggeridge is all over him. So maybe he's realised as well, hang on, I've still got 6 laps to do this. And I can give you some good news that Matt Couch has actually managed to catch up to some of the field, make a pass, and move himself from 8th into 7th. That's some kind of pleasure for him after being knocked out of the race on the opening lap. Hutchinson, every time he comes out of turn number 1, he does the seat shuffle to try and push his cart. He's sideways into the infield every time, though, and he loses ground. Muggeridge is there. 19 laps down. We're about to hit lap 20. But it's a good enough gap for Hutchinson. Does he go wide to get more speed into turn 1, or does he stay down the centre? He does. Well, he goes centre wide, if that's a term. The gap is 4.5 seconds back to number 27, Carl Brennan. Mike McDowell is a further 8 seconds back from the lead. Troy Bennett in 5th. Frank Gilbert in 6th. Matt Couch is in 7, and Matt Couch is actually now being chased down by Aaron French. So there could still be a switcheroo going on there. However, up the front, there is no change. Hutchinson over Muggeridge. And at this stage, it's by the numbers. Couch has lost his position to French. Or Bennett, sorry. I'm trying to work out who is doing what here. So 21, Aaron French has gained a spot back to move into 6th. Matt Couch is in 7. Tony Bennett is somewhere in 8. Because he is showing still on there, and I'm trying to find where he is. He's not in the race, but I'm just curious as to what's going on with him. And there he goes past the start-finish line now. So I think he's had a cart problem. So 78. 22 down, soon to be 23, with Paul Hutchinson still leading ahead of Stephen Muggeridge. And the gap is pretty big now. Definitely running paint by numbers. And Hutchinson knows it because he has gone back to his earlier driving style. He looks over his shoulder. He sees the gap. He's no longer driving defensive. He is back to driving wide, taking a late apex and keeping the speed up on his kart. No more inside line defensive maneuvers. He is just going around and doing his job. Paul Hutchinson doesn't mean he is going to win the weekend. In fact, I don't want to add up these points, because if he wins this race, No, he will come. I think he'll still be second in the weekend. Number 17. He will take the spoils at this stage with 1 lap remaining. He will take the spoils for this race, but because 51 Muggeridge has had 3 wins compared to Hutchinson's 2, and Hutchinson had a bad heat number 2, finishing 4th, that'll be it. So that's the checkered flag. It is waved. It has gone across the line. Hutchinson does take the win in the main final, but he does not take the championship for the club sport. They give each other a good handshake as they go across. Carl Brennan is in 3rd, Mike McDowell in 4th, Frank Gilbert in 5, and Aaron French in 6, with Matt Couch and Bennett further down in the field. But I'm fairly comfortable and fairly confident that with Muggeridge taking 3 wins and 2 second spots, he has definitely claimed the Club Sport title for this weekend at the Pool and Spa City of Sales. Coming to you from Giltrap Group Raceway, Kart Sport Auckland event. We'll be up next with our continuation in the finals, the Strata Networks Cadet Rock.